शांति। तीन शब्द बाप दादा के सदा याद रखो। एक अचानक, दूसरा एवरिडी और तीसरा बहुत काल। ये तीनों शब्द सदा बुद्धि में रखो। कब और कहाँ भी किसकी भी अंतम काल हो सकता है। अभी अभी देखो कितने भ्रमण जा रहे हैं, उन्हों को पता था क्या? इसीलिए बहुत काल का पुरुषार्थ फुल 21 जन्म का वर्षा प्राप्त करना ही है। ये तीव्र पुरुषार्थ स्मृति में रखो। फर्स्ट नंबर, फर्स्ट जन्म अपने राज का। क्या सोचा है? फर्स्ट जन्म में आना है ना, मजा किसमें होगा? फर्स्ट जन्म में या कोई में भी? जो समझता है कि अपने राज के फर्स्ट जन्म में श्री कृष्ण के साथ साथ हमारा भी पार्ट हो, वो हाथ उठाओ। अच्छा, पार्ट फर्स्ट में है। हाथ देख करके तो खुश हो गए। ये बजाओ। फर्स्ट जन्म में आओ, उसकी मुबारक है। लेकिन कहीं क्या? नहीं गए। आना ही है ना फर्स्ट, फिर दूसरी बात क्यों गए? अच्छा है, जितने भी आए हैं फर्स्ट जन्म में आना ही है। ताली ताली तो बजा दी। फर्स्ट जन्म और फर्स्ट स्टेज भी। तो फर्स्ट स्टेज बनानी है। ये जिसका दृढ़ संकल्प है, फास्ट जाना ही है। चाहे कुछ भी विघ्न हो, लेकिन विघ्न नहीं रहे। विघ्न विनाशक के आगे विघ्न विजय का रूप बदल जाए। क्योंकि आप सभी विघ्न विनाशक हो। टाइटल क्या है? विघ्न विनाशक। तो आवे भी खेल खेलने आएगा, लेकिन आप दूर से ही जान जाओ, रायल रूप में आएगा। देखना, आप विघ्न विनाश दर्शक दूर से ही जान जाएंगे कि ये क्या खेल हो रहा है। इसलिए बाप दादा भी यही चाहते हैं कि सब बच्चे साथ चले, पीछे नहीं रहे। बाप दादा को बच्चों के बिना मजा नहीं आता, तो दृढ़ता को कभी भी कमजोर नहीं करना, करना ही है। के नहीं करना, करेंगे देखेंगे हो जाएगा, देख लेना, ये बातें नहीं करना। दृढ़ता सफलता की चाबी, इस चाबी को कभी भी गंवाना नहीं। माया भी चतुर है ना, वो चाबी को ढूंढ लेती है। इसलिए इस चाबी को अच्छी तरह से संभाल के रखो। समझा ना सभी ने? समझा?
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar. Today's day 12. Divine Sanskar, Divine World. Daivi Sanskar, Daivi Sansar. One relation. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. Everyone is well, I can see. Very good. Yeah, we Avyakti Parivar has special blessings from Dadis, from Avyak Bab Dada, Dadi Gulzar, Dadi Janki, they all are with us. So we had been talking about oneness in our divine sanskars and then in the divine world. Baba establishes one kingdom based on one Srimad. So we had been talking about one. So today we are thinking and then churn on one religion, one kingdom, but then one religion. Today they have so many religions. And then there are so many branches of each religion. Many, many branches. Every religion, there is no religion which is only just even one. So many branches of the tree. So Baba says that religion is power, religion is might. And religion in Hindi we call it dharma. And dharma really means dharna. So first dharna, Baba talks about that the religion of the soul, self-religion, is peace. And I like it because very simple word, right? Peace. But to keep maintaining inner peace, whatever are external situations and sometimes internally some sanskars create upheaval, but I have to remain peaceful. Because to establish divine world and just to even have divine virtues, the first important virtue is peace. Because when I'm peaceful, I will have patience, and when peaceful, there is natural love within me. there is tolerance. Right? So keep a peaceful mind, and while doing actions, if I am peaceful, my sanskars become very natural. So Baba is saying in Murli also that make that religion as natural, your nature. So my nature is peaceful. Like for many things, we say my nature is like that, but actually my nature should be peaceful. Because then you are internally happy, there is contentment, you are very joyful, you know. So when I heard this, no, Swadharma, Swadharma is my religion is peace. Religion is peace. One is just to say my quality is peace. That is different. But when you say religion, it becomes like, you know, religious, they say. I have to remain firm in my religion, that is peace. And when there is peace, then it's very deeply connected with uh, the main nature or the religion of the soul as a Brahmin is purity. So they both are very deeply connected. When there is pure, you are peaceful. When you are peaceful, you will remain pure. But at this time, attention on that there shouldn't be even traces of vices. We have conquered vices, right? We have conquered all the vices. But just very, very subtly, sometimes the traces or sanskars emerge from the past. Sanskars of uh, some always have some desires or greed, want more and more devices, comforts, facilities. And Baba wants us not to depend on anything. Because today, yes, we have everything, but we get so used to it. If we don't get it, then we feel very distressed without it. But Baba says, yes, use them, but don't depend on them. But also any kind of subtle form as irritation or as being impatient or attachment, greed, right? So just to check that is purity my natural nature, because that's really the religion of Brahman, Baba's child. But also I was thinking that it's very important to have truth in life. We say there is victory in the truth. So sometimes we make compromises. Dari Janki used to say to make excuses also could be lies. But truth in the sense of just in soul consciousness, I as a true being, truth is my religion. They use this word, that truth is my religion. I know that Dadi Prakash Mani once said in the public, in my life, I have never spoken a single lie. Because it could be sometimes out of fear. Sometimes even that is why they always say don't get angry on children, because their first reaction is then to tell lie, because they know they will be punished. Right? But with Brahma Baba, the way he used to make children speak truth is with a lot of love. You have heard many stories, right, of Brahma Baba. Very lovingly, he will say things so they speak truth, but not to create fear, because then we're creating the habit of them trying to change the facts, whether it's lies or whatever. So, from these three qualities, all other divine virtues will emerge. And then, when we use them, then divine sanskars are created. And that is, we become the instruments to create the divine world. But also internally, when we have all three, you feel very strong. Right? If because of any reason you lie, there is always that feeling of guilt and fear. And there is a saying that truth is you speak only once. But if you lie about something, then you have to tell another lie, another lie. There is endless. But if it's truth, it is truth. You don't have to say second time. So what Baba wants us to have, our nature, it becomes natural for us to be peaceful, to be pure, and to be truthful. And that power actually is what helps us to govern in golden age. And even at confluence stage, I think if we have these three main, whether you call part of religion or strength, it's very unique. It has its own power in our thoughts, in our relationship, whether it is whatever we have, it's just based on truth. I feel sometimes very proud when uh, I talk about how Baba's children run the centers, everything just based on honesty and truth. Right? Not greed, we want more, or desires, or name and fame. No. Just pure thought is Baba's task. And Baba had said, Master is pleased. Your Bhandara and Bhandari will remain full. Full to an extent, Baba said, you will also have saving. So it's very, very beautiful to think in one kingdom with one religion. We all will be together there. Yeah, we all will be together in divine world. Now we are together, and then we also will be together, right? Yes, I can see everyone is happy that we will be together. Mm. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So today we will be having our story time in our Vyakti journey. But before that, let's get our homework for tomorrow. So would like to invite our angels. Sister Tanya, welcome.
Om Shanti. Greetings, everyone. So another, if you will, another step. Doesn't even really feel like a step because it allows us to take such a high jump. These very specific focus or spotlights that are being shone on increasing the quality of our efforts, making our efforts so more accurate in such a specific way, and of course, completely based on Baba's knowledge, Gyan, and Srimat, so that we can experience more fruit, more result from our efforts. Really enjoying this focus today on these three qualities. These qualities of the original, that eternal religion of the soul, the religion of Brahmins, and of course, this sort of religion, if you will, that is allowing us to create our future at this time. And so we have peace, purity, and truth. And so these three qualities, which I think the heart is so thirsty for, the soul is so thirsty for, that when we hear Baba's versions, we're completely, that intoxication is there and the heart feels fulfilled. And so for now, to be able to use them practically, to really focus on them in such a way through that first and foremost stage of being soul conscious, so that we can truly emerge those divine sanskars that will create that divine world. And so now let's look at our homework for tomorrow based on these qualities that create that one kingdom, one world, one religion, one family. And I just want to mention, of course, that fact that through this effort, we will all go together and we will all be together as we are now. So one religion, one dharma. Baba is called the Almighty. So the religion that he establishes has might. You know that you become those of the deity religion. And so you receive so much might. Om Shanti.
One religion. Baba is called the Almighty, so the religion that he establishes has might. You know that you become those of the deity religion, and so you receive so much might. Baba is called the Almighty, so the religion that he establishes has might. You know that you become those of the deity religion, and so you receive so much might. Om Shanti.
Today, we'll just quickly go through the schedule. Amritvala 3:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. Meditation will start at 6 a.m. followed by Hindi Avik Murli by Mohini Didi. English, Telugu, Tamil languages translation available during the Murli. And then tomorrow, Avik the children class from 2 to 3:30 p.m. Evening 6 o'clock meditation will start followed by Hindi series, followed by meditation in silence, and then series in English, followed by heart-to-heart chit-chat with Didi and Brother Eric in Avik the Journey. Also, tomorrow is Saturday, so we'll be having our Awaken 8 Spiritual Powers session for open to everyone. It's 11 to 12 noon, so it has been going very well. And so many episode has been already done, and now this will be another episode tomorrow. So please remind your friends and families that tomorrow is Saturday. So, and also you can invite anybody to join as well. Thank you very much. And now let's start our Vikti journey. Welcome to Vikti journey, Mohini Didi, the Living Light. Stories of spirituality that inspire and illuminate. So now we will invite our angels. Mr. Wadi, welcome.
Takes a few moments to unmute. And so once again, Om Shanti, good evening to everyone. Good evening, Bhumi, to Sister Mohini, of course, and Brother Dev, who has a story for us. And I'm going to go a little off script this evening once Devbhai is finished, because I want to add another story in the same vein. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Sister Wadi. Happy Friday.
Thank you.
So today's story is a short one, but very powerful one. And I would assume as we read the story, Didi can probably guess where it has come from. So here's the story. Last year, one sister was seriously sick and was admitted to a hospital. Even the doctors had given up on her. Mohini Didi was supporting us through phone calls and giving sakash to the soul. All of us at the center were getting increasingly concerned as the medical condition of the sister was worsening by the hour. We had a Zoom call with Mohini Didi in the evening. She casually said that the sister will get better. Almost everyone was compassionately saying that to us. But when Mohini Didi said it, I felt in my core that Baba spoke through her. That gave courage to the soul. Next day morning, the sister was diagnosed accurately, received the right treatment, and started to get better. This whole experience has been forever etched upon my heart. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Mohini Didi.
Yeah, we perhaps expect great souls to be miracle workers and to be healers. And I want to share a story, because one thing I have to say, that stories such as this, as you've just shared, Devbai, and that I'm going to share, you won't hear Sister Mohini telling them herself. And others may tell them, but in all the years since this incident that I heard about, first from relatives who were involved and later on from the one who was the patient, but I've never ever heard Sister Mohini tell the story and her part in it. And so maybe that will be part of the questioning afterwards. And so what happened some 30 years ago, a soul whose family, 2 prior generations, had already very faithfully been with Baba. And so from 6 years old, she was brought up in a BK atmosphere. But anyway, when she was in her mid-20s, she became seriously ill, suddenly, unexpectedly. And a little bit like the story you told, they were not able to diagnose it. They thought it was a variety of things, and it seemed there was only one other case recorded. And even till today, they still do not know accurately how it was contracted or what exactly it was. And it was really extreme. The patient was in ICU. The relatives had been called because they were anticipating that she was going to leave the body. And the relatives had come. They were in other countries, and everybody came. And there was any number of times, at least 3, when a code blue was called, where she was going into serious respiratory shock or whatever, that they thought that they were losing her. And it was such that even the relatives were planning or talking about the last rites and about her funeral. Now, Sister Mohini had been in India, in Madhaban, no doubt, and I don't know for sure whether she just coincidentally came back at that time, and this was in New York. And Sister Mohini and everyone in the family had great faith in Sister Mohini on all levels. And she went to the hospital. And one of the first things, as I recollect, it's how I recollect being told the story, that they were engaged in some conversations about what if she leaves the body and what to do in one thing and another. And Sister Mohini told them, please don't do that. You never speak about the soul leaving the body when the soul is still in the body. And then Sister Mohini went to the bedside, and the patient, and she had I don't know if you say it properly, a trachea, right? So she was in and out of consciousness. And now, just to give you an indication of how severe the illness was, she spent 4 to 6 months in hospital, right? And this is a young woman. She's like 25 years of age. And Sister Mohini approached the bed, and what the patient remembered or felt, Sister Mohini began to rub. She said she doesn't remember whether it was her hands or her feet. And the other thing that Sister Mohini did, as was told later by the girl's grandmother, that, and again, whether she just intuitively knew, and it has been a lesson for me, and although I've never been in a situation with someone like that, but I keep this in mind, that the young woman knew that all these people, her auntie and her parents, her grandparents were in the room, but didn't know what was going on or why they were there. And so Sister Mohini, while, gently massaging her, explained to her why she was where she was and why her whole family had gathered there. And just like the story you told earlier, it was like it was the moment of change. Both she herself felt from Sister Mohini and the massage and the words and the explanation, and medically it was the turnaround. Everything turned around at that point. And I'm happy to say that all these years later, the patient is well and thriving. And her grandmother had told her that, and it was interesting, it wasn't that Sister Mohini has come for you, but that Sister Mohini had brought Baba for you, or that Baba had sent Sister Mohini, but that Baba was very definitely in the equation. And so it would be nice to hear this story from Sister Mohini, but some of the questions that I have, and this is pertaining to both situations, is, because I've seen it with Daddy, everyone else is in a state of heightened distress, right? The loved ones and so on. But what is it that enables these souls to see beyond the illness, that they're seeing in a completely different way? I saw it with Daddy Janki once, but it was a situation of someone's mental illness, and we were all so worried. But Daddy was as cool as a cucumber. And again, no doubt it had a huge effect. So, dear Sister Mohini, would you like to join us? And
getting that story, that's very well goes with this story. So
yeah. And so a couple of questions for Sister Mohini. One is this thing of how is she able to go beyond what's going on? Because these are people that she also has love for, And the other thing, last night I was talking to Baba's children in Latin America and talking about that we all have a covenant, a certain commitment with Baba that's very personal. And I'm wondering if Sister Mohini, because what she does is not something you can make effort for. I don't think it has to do with sadhana. I think it's there as a gift that then is nurtured. And so was it some covenant that she had with God from a previous incarnation that she would be able to heal people? Please tell us. We want to know your secrets.
Shanti, Sister Mohini. I thought you won't find more stories, but you have.
There's more.
You have one.
But this is very, very special for me. I've never forgotten this one.
One thing I want to tell everyone, that when you are any patient or anyone you want to help, you have to connect with the soul. not look at the body, not look at body's condition. Because I remember that one time I was in Guyana and I had to visit someone, and this sister was in coma, and I start talking to her as a soul, and she start moving her hands as she wants to someone hold her hand. So I just hold her hand. But surprisingly, the response she gave immediately, because when you contact soul, right, and always remember that they have some karmic accounts, right? And actually, only one Baba can settle anyone's karmic accounts. Of course, our good wishes are there, our pure feelings are there. And I think each one of us, when there is total purity, our hands has that capacity or healing power. But just look at the center of the forehead, talk to the soul. I don't exactly remember that Debai story but I think the you are sharing. Remember that I went in, and before me there was she was married recently, so this man's nun, no, because he was Christian, she came in. So they give you turns to go in because she was critical. So that I went in, and nun was still there. And she was saying, God, please, this is the time. She is so young. You have to be active now. You have to do something, like she was doing prayers. And after that, I went and I put my hand on her lungs because her lungs were failing. And I said, do you remember you were with Baba? Because when she was little, she had gone with her grandparents to Madhuban. So I said, do you remember what did Baba say? Do you remember your blessings Baba gave you? And I saw her head, yes, I do remember, I remember. So anyway, she was, then after a little while, I went out and the whole family was there. And they were questioning that why our meditation is not working. And they also had sent a message to Dadi Gulzar. And I said, and Dadi Gulzar, that because you are all not able to see her as a soul, so you are not able to give power. You are looking at granddaughter or daughter or whatever. So, because when I went, and then after a little while, they called immediately, can someone come? But they all had gone for a cup of tea. So I went, and she opened eyes, and she was like, responding. And so nurses, everyone, they were very happy. But whole thing was that why whole family was meditating day and night, and why their power didn't work. So I always remember, since I have come to Gyan, that it's the soul to soul contact. Beautiful. And Baba can also help if we are in soul consciousness. So that soul who is not well, the body might not be in soul consciousness, but you connect with the soul, right? And always think it's Baba, and I don't necessarily want people to know this. I want them to know method, because this is the method if we use it. But one thing since I came in Gyan, this whole thing about soul consciousness and then spiritual relationship. And so I don't know if I didn't have attachment, but I was more like there is a lot of spiritual love, with even my low kicks, but it was not attachment. So I think that if everyone, whenever you see someone and you want to share good wishes of any kind, then you have to have that soul consciousness and never think that, oh, I'm going to get this one well. My good wishes are going to get this one well. No, Baba is going to do that, right? Like I keep reminding her of Brahma Baba. Look what happened when you went to Madhuban, how nice it was. And also somewhere when you look at the soul, and also there is some kind of something comes like, you know, I should say it not, but Uncle Gayatri's father was in Toronto, and like he was almost gone. And I went and I said, Uncle, what's going on? And like this. And I must have just put my hand on his chest and he opened eyes. And then I called everyone. I said, look, kid. But it was soul, but what inside me was that he will not go. Of course, you cannot prolong if it's karma is for long, maybe year 2, 3, or maybe not. But basically, because as soon as there is this pure thought for the soul, and you connect with the soul, I think that's where the whole power is or healing is. So I don't know from past, and I actually never knew about it. But once I was in a program in Madhuban, I mean, I know that people always said it. There was an American man used to come in Queens, and he had heart problem. And he keeps saying, you have healing power. I said, no. He said, can you just hold my wrist? I said, no, I don't touch anyone. And he said, just once you do it. And then next time he came, he said, it is written in the Bible that those who have healing power and they don't use it, it's sin. So if you are not doing it, it will be sin. I said, I'm still not doing it because I don't do that, And I never wanted this to be known in the sense, but so anyway, I said, okay, he was so miserable. He was an old person, like must be in 80s. I said, okay, so I just hold his hand like, on his wrist. And I don't know what happened after, but what I'm saying that some people come to know also. So I don't know if it's healing power or it's the Baba. You all must have heard the stories of Brahma Baba and Dadi Prakashmani. Of course, Dadi Janki, with Balwant in London.
Yeah.
She just was looking at the soul for half an hour and had determined thought that he has to revive. And it was a very serious case, right? So I think all of us, whenever we have opportunity or we are asked to go and see a patient, always have this connection of soul to soul. Don't look at body, what sickness that person has, you know. But it is both ways. If someone has to leave body, let's say, and you are there, but still like somewhere the soul gets that comfort also. Both ways. One is recovery, miraculously they kind of survive. But I think that this soul to soul contact is very important, whether it is for patient or even amongst ourselves. And because in this, there is such a pure love, in that soul consciousness, there is love, very pure energy of love between soul to soul. Recently, I was in a meeting, and after a long time, I became emotional because I thought, are people place conscious, task conscious, or are we serving with spiritual love, or do we want anything else, And if there is spiritual love, I think what even you have that too. In the sense, then the way you give, the way you look at people, they are sustained, right? But if you only, oh, this is good in that, so he should do that. It's like always there is something in between that pure love. And I feel, especially we as instruments of Baba, wherever we are, Baba says, don't have desires, have just spiritual love. And you will see how these days I find a lot of quality souls, they want to surrender to Baba, right? But we look at so many things and then we see them as they yet have to grow, they have to. But spiritual love is something which we should serve with. I had been saying, but today I thought I will say it loud. There should be no other desire, no intention, just serve with spiritual love. Because there are many, many souls. These days they feel they want to wind up, they want to do for Baba, they want to be more for Baba. So if I have spiritual love, then we can help them to decide. Plus, I think they can grow. We can sustain them properly. But if we are, oh, this is a big place, so more people should come. Some say, oh, uh, very task oriented kind of thinking. Of course, spiritual love, and then you have to do tasks. But don't look at who is doing what and love based on that. If you give love truly and people feel that power, feel that love, if they are happy, everything will get done. Money also could never be problem. People will be just willing to support. But I think we need that lot. As Baba's love, look at all of us. We are nurtured by Baba's love, right? Baba never, of course, he knew our specialties. When I think of the task I have done, I can't believe even that it was me who will go and do this, do that. But it was Baba's love. So if we can do that, I think it will be so powerful and you will see the achievement. But not have any desire.
Sister Mohini, are you seeing evidence of that increasing in the Brahmin family? Of pleasing the Lord and just love. Yeah, I think so too.
It's important. Too. Yeah, I think it's magical and it's important. It's necessary because we can make a lot of effort. Like sometimes people ask me what efforts. I even don't realize that I'm making efforts. But be honest with Baba, do right way, follow Baba. Like I always think that in my life, because I want straight route, I have to just keep following Brahma Baba. I don't look at any soul, don't listen actually lot. I just say I have to follow Baba's footstep so that I reach to destination which he has shown us and he is guiding us. So I definitely encourage everyone, Baba's children, to have spiritual love and keep follow Father. But always remember that who is the one who giving us power, right? Who is the one who is making us worthy? Always Baba. So that's important.
Beautiful. I don't know if that this might change where we're at the moment, but I was wondering, and I think you've already maybe answered it, but if when you're instrumental and you're not thinking that you are, but in that healing, like there was one Mahatma, the only one I ever thought of as a Mahatma, and he developed cancer, and the followers said to him, that there was so much love for him that we're willing to take your cancer, we're willing to take your karma. And he said, who do you think gave it to me in the first place? And so is that possible? Can you take on other people's karma? Can you alleviate their karma? Or maybe that thinking is wrong, whereas here it's because you have Baba in mind. So you don't get, just like sometimes healers, these natural healers, they do a healing and then they get exhausted because they take some of that energy. So is that a strange question maybe, but
you heard, no, that Sai Baba used to do some miracles, right? One of the guru in India, he was very known for. So he will treat people. But in his book, he wrote a book and he said, actually nobody can, it's karmas. And karmas are karmas. If you don't settle now, you will still have to settle somewhere. So, but I feel that, no, it's like Baba is saying obstacle destroyer, I guess. No, Baba said.
Okay.
So, to claim victory over the obstacles. And Dadi Janki always used to say, whenever like I went for surgery or another, she said, we are purifying the matter, we are becoming the conqueror of matter. And like she never thought it's settling of karmic account.
Interesting.
One day she said to me, people think I have karma to say, oh, what karmas to settle? I have done so much elevated karmas that I have lot of plus, I don't have any minus.
Beautiful.
But I also feel that, it should be human nature to stop somewhere, right? In the sense of, okay, if you are 80 plus something, but we keep going on, right? So the nature will somewhere say, okay, now you have to be angelic, you have to be aware. Otherwise it won't happen. So I always feel that nature also, elements also play that part. I don't call it karmic account, but in the end, and that is what I keep saying in Madhuban to or Dadis or Nirvana, that why it is necessary to keep, after certain time, you have to keep doing this, more medical, more medical. And we had all this also. We know that there is a value of that soul in the body, but also sometimes I find that there is a time we should let the soul go in right time and just become angel. I keep telling Baba. Today also I was talking to Baba. I just want to go as an angel. I don't want all that, for years to body is taken care of. Medically, they can keep a person, right? But also spiritually, I feel that I keep telling Baba, the way you went, I want to go same way. Where, so yes, I think that we can help the soul while the soul is going through something, definitely, in the sense of being present, support, and, being present also can help. One time, Dadi Janki was very sick in Ahmedabad, and Nirvar Bhai called me. It was Christmas Day. He said, "You just come," and I said, "Okay, I will go." And so she used to get very sick, you all know that. But then going, talking, what she has to say, her desires. Oh, I want this place to be served. I want this place to get money. I get. So she keeps saying it. I said, we will do everything. You just tell us. So sometimes like a person whom patient can talk freely, that could also release some kind of some concerns or whatever.
Beautiful.
So I think we all can help in whatever way. I don't remember exactly, but one time in San Francisco for Anubhuti, they were celebrating their 10 years. And, for me, I can only travel. So I said, okay, I will take night flight, reach in the morning, and next day night, I will take another flight, come back. And when I arrived, just little before me, Chandruben got very sick and she was taken in emergency. And I just had such strong feeling to just go. And it was good, at least I was there. So program went on. And then I went to see her in hospital before. So sometimes it's like, soul feels that pull, you know. And Chandruben keeps calling me often. Oh, I just want to talk to you. I really want to talk to you. So she calls, whenever she feels, she calls me for a few minutes. So anyway, I think that our purity, pure love, soul consciousness, bringing Baba, these elements definitely are good support It could be sympathy or power for any soul, right?
That's
It's
great.
just pure, yeah.
Very practical for me. It's very, very useful. Thank you so very, very much. That was great. Dear bye.
Thank you. I think really this is, I guess what I'm taking is all of us, if we have total purity, we do have that, I guess if we call one of the healing power, but we have that spiritual power within us. And to really see them as souls, not as patients, not as sick, none of those things. And that's really so important, especially now at this time and as the time get more delicate as well.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's what I'm taking too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Come back next week for another story.
Let's see.
Om Shanti. Thank you very much. That was a wonderful story, and we always look forward for another story. Thank you to Didi and Sister Bodhi and Brother Dev. Thank you, and we look forward for next Friday. So now let's remember Baba.
Om Shanti. So just keep your soul consciousness. Look at others as souls. You can help everyone. Om Shanti and good night, everyone. Good night.